Welcome to EPL Insights for Match Day 34 in the Premier League. Gareth Wheeler, Jake Osgathorpe back with you after a Match Day 33, which was seismic in terms of the title race. Man City wins, Liverpool somehow lose at home to Palace, Arsenal fall to Villa, and all of a sudden it's Man City in the driver's seat. A 2-point gap between the chasing or trailing pack heading into the stretch run of the season. Jake, if we take a look at the markets on Pinnacle, City now a favorite to win the Premier League. No surprise at minus 250, Arsenal at plus 400, and Liverpool at plus 598. Some difficult games, fixtures coming home for all three sides. What do you make of where we stand right now?
From a personal perspective, and everyone who's listening, they'll know that we're in a pretty decent spot. We got on Man City at the right time. We had them at a plus number. They're now very, very short in terms of pricing, and that's completely understandable. You know, this is their time of the season. It's the time of the season where they generally just win out and, just make mincemeat of everyone else. And you look at the schedules, and they have got the easiest schedule. You know, they've got 4 away games, 2 at home, but you look at everyone else. Arsenal have got to play Chelsea, they've got to play Spurs, they've got to play Man United, they've got to play an Everton team that are obviously potentially fighting for their lives. Liverpool have also got to play Spurs, they've got to play Villa, they've also got to play Everton, fighting for their lives, and it's a derby. Whereas Man City don't really have, other than Tottenham away, which is they usually lose there every single season. They should probably win all the other matches you would expect. And yeah, we've gone from having a thrilling 3-horse race title battle to it kind of looking all over in the space of a weekend, which is, a bit anticlimactic.
And it probably falls into their hands as well. No more Champions League football.
No more Champions League.
Them and Arsenal crash out. Liverpool with their trials and tribulations, and the Europa League as well. So we'll see what kind of twists and turns lay ahead. As for this weekend, I know Jake Osgathorpe was really excited for this mini pod here today because he wanted to place an a bet against Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final. I know you're waiting. In fairness, we pushed in our head-to-head. Neither Bournemouth or United won last week. Just putting that out there. We might touch on the FA Cup a little bit, but 7 fixtures in the Premier League this weekend. And let's start off with Wolves and Arsenal. Arsenal, no wins in 3 now in all competitions. No clean sheet in 3 either. They have played the under 2.5 in their 5 of their last 7 games. Still a significant favorite going on the road to the Molineux. Is the line just about right? Do you have a play for this game?
Yeah, I was hugely surprised to see Wolves getting 1.25 goal head start on the handicap. I thought 1 was probably about right, maybe even 3/4. I mean, let's be honest, Arsenal last week in the second half against Villa looked woeful. In 90 minutes away at Bayern Munich, they looked terrible. They generated a combined 0.6 expected goals in 135 minutes of football, which is not what you'd expect from a title-chasing side. Obviously, Wolves, they're not the best team that they're going to have faced, but let's not forget, they've taken some serious scalps this season at home. They're against the top 5. They're actually, top 6. They've lost 1 and drawn 4, unbeaten in the other 4. And if you think, look, Man United scored a last-minute winner there. West Ham, they had an equaliser that was harshly ruled out. So there's 2 teams there at 7th and 8th that they probably should have got points against as well. So I'm more than happy to take this Wolves team on the handicap. We know Arsenal aren't the most attacking side at the moment. They're not creating too many chances. They obviously defensively are very strong still. So I won't be surprised if Arsenal won this game maybe by a single goal. And if that happens, then obviously we get a bit of profit. But yeah, I think this is make or break really for Arsenal this weekend.
And I'm going to go a little bit against you here. I think it's going to be a make for Arsenal. I'm going to follow some recent trends. Arsenal, I mentioned the unders. This is how they played away from home. They haven't conceded in their 5 last away fixtures. 6-0 at West Ham, 5-0 at Burnley, 6-0 at Sheffield United, goalless draw at Man City, and 3-0 over Brighton. And they score goals against Wolves. Wolves haven't kept a clean sheet against Arsenal in 19. I kind of agree with you. This is Arsenal's last stand. How do they win games? By playing really strong defensive football. So my bet is both teams to score no and Arsenal win at plus 144. So I look, and it could kind of play for you. A 1-0 would suit you fine. It would be a half win for the bet that you're making. I did consider the bet that you are making for this game, but I'm just going to follow the trends on this one and hope that it lands in a good place.
Yeah,
On the
if you were
other,
placing that bet a couple of weeks ago, I'd have been all over it with you because the only thing for me is they've now got Hwang back fit, they've got
yeah,
Cunha back fit, Sarabia is playing well. This it's a Wolves team that can bloody the nose. They've already beaten Man City at Molineux. I personally, given the fact that Arsenal have to go and win this game, I think they're going to have to throw caution to the wind at some point. They might get caught out. So, I did look at the win to nil, and I just thought, maybe not this game.
let's go to the other side of the table. Potential relegation battle from Goodison Park. It's Everton and Nottingham Forest. What do you make in terms of this game? Forest don't have a clean sheet in their last 9, but both teams to score has played in 5 of 5. If you dig into the numbers, Everton much better in terms of the numbers at home than they are away. I'm not sure if you could put that 6-0 smashing at the hands of Chelsea in the rearview mirror, but they got to turn it around quick, Jake.
They do, yeah. This is one where, for me anyway, quite a few things have aligned, and I'm more than happy to back the over at -107. You've got the fact that it's a big 6-pointer, and so far this season, all the 6-pointers have been quite high-scoring games because both teams have been going for it, been going for the victories, and a draw doesn't do either team any good really, especially when Luton play against Brentford. They've got a real opportunity to get 3 points themselves. Yeah, Everton showed that they can't defend on Monday night, didn't they? That was a really good performance by them. And Nottingham Forest equally, they've been completely the opposite of what we'd have expected from a Nuno team, haven't they? They've been just chaos, a lot of goals, great chances. They've got a good front three. I'm quite happy to take the line. And we've spoken about it all season. The average goal total in the Premier League is just sky high. It's over 3.2. It's breaking all the records. And when you get a line that is at 2.5. Just back it. You're going to make profit over the long run.
I'm with you. But I've a preferable play for me. Everton to win at +109. Like I said, they've scored in their last 6 home games. They have a home XG of 30.53, but have only scored 16. Like, that's crazy. They've only scored 14 fewer goals than their XG at home. It's just ridiculous. And they're 8th in expected points, according to Understat, but they have a game or 2 less played than everyone in front of them, including Spurs and Aston Villa, who are directly above them. And Everton already beat Forest 1-0 away this season. I think it's a good spot for Everton to buy low, and that number's actually getting bigger. You might even be able to get a better number closer to kickoff. I want to throw another play, put it by you. Forget over 2.5. I'm going over 3 for Luton Town and Brentford. Jake. I mean, Luton Town, both teams' scorers played in 9 of 10, no clean sheets in 13, over 3 is hit in 11 of their 16 home games. Brentford, both teams' scorers 6 of 8. Brentford last 4 away, 3-3, 2-1 loss, 2-1 loss, and a 4-2 loss. That play would have cashed each and every time. And head-to-head, they already played to a 3-1 this year. That, to me, one of my favorite bets of the week.
I don't have anything else to add. I've got the same bet for the same reason.
Shall we deal with Crystal Palace and West Ham? This
Yes,
fixture
please.
always brings the goals. Are you expecting more goals this weekend?
I am, but I'm just looking at Crystal Palace's price to win, and that's good enough for me. +117. They've got the main guys back. Eze, Elise, they're back fit, back playing, and I like the way that Glasner's got them setting up at the moment. And obviously, great result of the weekend against Liverpool. And you're going to go to Anfield, you're going to concede chances, you're going to ride your luck. But they created plenty of chances, nearly 2 expected goals themselves, which is a really, really good sign for the Eagles. And I just, looking at West Ham, they're on a bit of a nosedive at the moment, and their performances following a midweek European match have been really poor this season. 1-2, drawn 4, lost 3. But those results, to me anyway, read even worse because 6 of those games came against bottom half sides, teams that you'd expect them to, at least get 3 points. Quite a few of those defeats come there. So, yeah, I'm all over this Palace team to win.
All right, I'm Palace, West Ham, both teams to score in the over because that's what happens like every time they play. Both teams to score is played in their last 10. Played to a 4-3 in this fixture last season. No clean sheets for Palace in their last 19 against West Ham. No clean sheet for West Ham in their last 13. You mentioned Elise and Eze. They've only played in 9 games together this year, but they've scored in 12 of the 13 games that Elise has played. He's just such a difference maker. And Palace has scored in their last 8 home games in the Premier League. Both teams to score has played 7 times. So I think that either one of those plays, I'm fine with Palace to win. This one, you get a little bit more juice at plus 119. Any other additional plays for this week or any feel in the FA Cup before we go?
No, I'm going to take another over in the Sheffield United Burnley game. It's the last chance saloon. It really is kitchen sink territory, and Sheffield United, the kitchen sink's already gone. Like they've thrown everything at this, and it's just not worked, has it? They're at home this season. Well, just recently, last eight home games they've conceded 31 goals. So it's an average of 3.9 per game. Like Burnley must be licking their lips and thinking we've got a great chance of getting 3 points. And if they do, and Everton Forest ends up in a draw, then all of a sudden Burnley are knocking on that door. I expect both teams to go for this. Goals.
The only thing I'm sure about in the FA Cup this weekend is Manchester United will give up a lot of shots to Coventry.
Oh, yes.
So wherever that number is lined up, take the over. It's consistently 20 in the Premier League, playing a lower league side. Still, I can't see them conceding less 10, 11, 12 shots.
Yeah.
I think Coventry are good for this weekend.
13 when they played them, and they were in League Two. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Back the Coventry shot line.
I don't think that there's a shot line or shot total that I don't like in that game. Good stuff, Jake. We'll be back. There's some midweek fixtures next week. Make sure you monitor the markets, keep up to speed on Pinnacle.